Well, it is week number 12 in the National Football League, and it is time for yet another NFL breakdown. Rob Wong joined alongside by national NFL columnist John Kryk to preview this week's action. And John, let's begin with the Cincinnati Bengals, who will head to Tennessee. Cincinnati, 2.5-point road favorites. This Tennessee offense has come alive of late. Derrick Henry, always a threat, of course, but Ryan Tannehill starting to turn things around too. Who do you like in this matchup?
Going to take Tennessee. They lost at home to Cincinnati in the playoff game back in January, as we know. And Ryan Tannehill, kind of since then, actually since last November, he hadn't been able to throw for 300 yards in any game until just this past week at Green Bay. So that seems to have perhaps uncorked what he can do when Derrick Henry, who is a legit now MVP candidate for this season, he's leading the league in rushing and he's looking as monstrous as ever. When you have those two guys going, then that Tennessee offense isn't this, 13-point a game kind of outfit that we've seen for most of this season. They are better than that. And can they extend that against Cincinnati, a team I think they'll be very motivated to beat? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it should be a fun one there for sure. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers seem to have started to turn things around a little bit here. They've won 2 in a row. They're still just 5-5 on the season, John, but they'll get a matchup on the road in Cleveland against the Browns. Cleveland 3.5-point home underdogs. Who do you like in this matchup between Brady and Jacoby Brissett?
I think the Bucs will pull it out. They've had a week to rest, which the teams that usually get these late season buys, as opposed to say early October, always seem to cherish it a little bit more because they're a little more banged up, obviously, this deep into the season. And it seems to affect them better when they come out of them. I don't have any stats to bear that out. That's just my kind of anecdotal feeling. However, you've got a very frustrated, I think, Cleveland Browns team that has one more week now to put up with Jacoby Brissett as the quarterback until Deshaun Watson comes back next week. I don't know. That offense against Buffalo was particularly bad, and I was surprised to see their rush defense was awful against the Bills last week, and I don't expect them to play much better even at home this week. I'd take the Bucs.
All right, let's wrap it up with the Sunday nighter. Green Bay on the road in Philadelphia to take on the 9-1 Eagles. Philadelphia's 7-point home favorites. It's been a weird last couple of weeks for the Eagles, John. They, of course, lose to the Washington Commanders, and then last week squeak by the Colts by just 1 point. That being said, it's been quite a mess for the Packers this year. Their point differential is horrendous. Their offense is really struggling. Can the Eagles cruise to a victory in this one?
I'm not sure they'll cruise, but I expect the Eagles will get things right at least enough at home to win this game. It's funny, you look back at last year's last team to lose a game, which was Arizona. They were 7-0, I believe, until they started losing and then losing frequently ever since. Part of your mind has to, I think, if you're any NFL fan, as long as you're not an Eagles fan, you have to wonder, okay, was how overrated or how fortunate were the Eagles to start their season? 8-0, I believe they were. I'm not certain that they're going to have much of a drop-off at all, especially after they just bolstered their interior defensive line. I'm not saying they're this year's Arizona, but it's something that we have to keep an eye out for. I mean, how much was good fortune and playing a run of bad teams part of their wonderful start? And now that, we're getting late in the year with injuries and other attrition, we'll see how far they can take it. But I think they've got this one at home against the Packers.
Yeah, they definitely got a chance to turn around the perception facing off against the Packers, who are 1-4 on the road this season. For all of John's Week 12 NFL picks, you can sign up for his Kryk Slants newsletter, and you can also get him on Twitter at John Kryk.